All right, so we're watching Rob White Zombie.
Yes,
with the panel, movie reviewers. Jamie, who has a prominent name in
Get
in
Up
porn.
and Kill.
Rob White Zombie.
Holy shit! Hold on, wait.
Yes.
I got something else to
Panel,
Oh,
movie reviewers. Holy crap! Where's that coming from?
I remember seeing them opening for.
me.
Oh, you got soul.
That might get the channel hit.
I remember.
Where's that at?
I was playing it on my phone. It was just my wrestling intro.
Your entrance music, nice.
No, it was, okay. Here we go. Let's get this party started. All right.
Good evening.
This is the early. This is when the band was actually in the garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is garage days. One of their
I'm
first
actually so
videos
old.
back in the fucking 30s.
I'm actually so old. I remember when I was living on the Lower East Side in the 90s, you used to see those guys and Sean Yusult at the bars like all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard
And
Rob Zombie hates his band though. Like he hates.
he's a notorious douchebag.
Really?
Yeah. He's not a nice guy. Yeah. I mean, let me give you an example. He called, I think, the cops or maybe the town where he lives in to complain about the kids that were skateboarding outside of his apartment.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Now, what would the boss move be? What would the boss move be? To grab your board, go out there, and be like, "Okay, kids, let me show you some tricks."
I thought he was all
man.
into that kind of stuff, though.
No, he's a dick. He's
No
a dick.
way.
Yeah, he's a total
Dude,
dick.
that sucks.
The Jerry Only is also evidently a bit of a dick, but he at least built a skate park where I live here in Nyack, New York.
Joycey.
Oh, Jerry Only from the Misfits.
New York.
Yeah.
He's a dick. I heard a bunch of the Misfits with dicks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bitter. Yeah. And Danzig, of course, just has a maturity issue.
yeah, he is a dick. But he was heavy in the steroids and shit like that for a long time.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Yeah, he was. The big chipmunk cheeks really gave
Because
it
have you
away.
seen him when he was originally in the Misfits? Like,
Oh my God.
dude, he was tiny, dude.
Tiny?
Tiny.
And also, the reason why he created the Devil Lock was because he had a really big nose,
Yeah.
and then he got a nose job, and that's when he when he finally started combing his hair out of his face.
Get out! I never knew that
Yeah.
either. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he got a good nose job though. You know, he went. He didn't get too ambitious with it. And of course,
Don't
here we
worry,
are
dear.
in
We'll be there any minute now.
vacationing in Haiti. I wonder whose idea that was.
Oh, Rob.
Huh?
But yes, this is very much about the Haitian voodoo
Oh,
zombie.
yeah. There's his eyes.
Bela.
Bela.
You think Serpent and the Rainbow was inspired by this movie?
In part.
Oh, yeah. For
In
sure.
part. It was, an adaptation of a nonfiction book, The Serpent and the Rainbow, which I've read, which is incredible, by Wade Davis.
Wasn't Wade Davis the journalist who went to Haiti to do
And
the
found the
drugs that made the zombie
the formula. Yeah. He found the zombie formula. And evidently it's poison from a poison
you folks look
blowfish.
delicious.
Well, it's a mixture of poisons. That's what they
Yes.
said. Like it's a
Yeah.
combination. It's a cocktail of poisons. Like
Yep.
you shouldn't be able to survive the zombie formula.
No. But if you do, you are going to be all messed up.
Hey, it's Snapper from Car Wash.
Zombies.
Looking at the car wash.
Professor Owen Corey.
I love that. Look at that graveyard.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Mm,
There's
I
actually
can't wait to add this to my collection.
I got her
Gonna come back to
panties.
this later.
He's rubbing it on his boob.
I love having her panties next to my chest.
Look at that eye makeup, man.
So there
She's
we have
such
our
a harlot.
heroine and her very, very
It's Moses.
bland,
That's
boring.
Moses.
What's it? Her new husband. You'll notice, like in all the horror movies for this era, that the guys that aren't the characters that are the male characters that the women are going to end up with are always like incredibly boring.
Why did you drive like that?
Or maybe they just pretty much all.
Why
boring.
did you drive like that? you
They're like
bastard?
so generic. It's just it's something that's interesting about horror and monster
Wait,
movies.
who? Which one you spoke to?
I am not leaving you a good lift review.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like Uber
Brian,
in the 1800s.
A lot of these people, from my understanding, they
The living
were silent actors. They're
Absolutely.
coming from the silent movies into here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why they overact.
There,
It's true.
There are certain actors that when sound came along, that was the end of their career.
Mhm.
Valentino, yeah,
Because they-
Valentino.
Valentino, exactly, because he had a weird voice.
He had like a high pitched voice.
Huh.
Is that for Valentino?
Yeah, so that was it for him. But then you had somebody like Lon Chaney Sr., who actually did some films and sound.
He was the Phantom of the Opera, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And
See, I know stuff.
Quasimodo, Hunchback of
Quasimodo.
Notre Dame.
So this woman here, I read that back in the 40s that she ended up like shooting her fiance and was
Oh my
charged
gosh.
was charged with like assault with a deadly weapon or something, and it pretty much ended her career.
Is
I
that
wonder-
Miracles?
I wonder if he had it coming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
Like
no,
if he was
you're right,
smacking
because
her
back
around or
then-
something, and she pulled out a gat and just blasted him. I'd be
Well,
like,
it's
okay.
funny that you say that because the story said that when they interviewed her, the police, she said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm a crack shot. If I'd have wanted to kill him, he'd be dead."
Nice.
I'm like, damn, Madge.
Well, that's fucking frightening. But back then, women were really subservient too, wasn't they? I mean, you really
She
had to do
wasn't.
some bad shit to go ahead and get a woman mad.
Not necessarily Hollywood women, man. They were different. They were a different time. They were different. They were a different breed back then.
Oh, absolutely. People partied so much harder. Bela Lugosi, as a matter of fact, dated Clara Bow, the it girl,
Yeah.
who was like the Madonna of her era. Yeah, she like the sex goddess. Yeah, she told her friends. I think she'd been swimming in the pool. She jumps out of the pool and she's like, tells her friends, "I got tickets tonight to see Dracula, like the play, right?
Oh, the play. Yeah.
Because it was in town."
Mhm.
And she told her friends, like, "I hear that there's this Hungarian actor in the lead and that he doesn't speak a word of English. He just like memorized like the script like phonetically."
Uh-huh.
And so she threw on her mink coat with nothing underneath
Well, all right.
and went and saw the play, and of course afterwards introduced herself to Mr. Lugosi. And yeah, they were together for about a year.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, that's a hell of an introduction, dude.
Oh, no kidding. Excuse
I
me,
think-
sir. You look cold. Here,
Well-
let me give you my coat.
This isn't anything new for Jamie, though. I think that's how he met his wife. Like his
It's-
wife was
exactly.
like, "Hey, I heard you work at the subway down the block."
And of course, it wasn't a mink coat. It was one of those see-through rubber ponchos. But, it's still the same principle.
It wasn't a windbreaker.
No.
Oh man.
I love
Yeah.
the white suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Has a very plantation-y feel.
It does.
Is it white or is it like light blue? We just can't tell.
Yeah, you're right. It probably could be.
Oh, yeah. They would, of course, the Frankenstein monster, the Karloff monster is always depicted green when you see, you get action figures and stuff like that, and model kits or whatever. And the reason why they made the monster green is because when they were shooting, they would paint his face green because it sort of made it look more pale with a black and white cinematography.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you ever look up color photos of the Addams family set. It's like
Yeah.
all pinks.
Especially as
Well, I heard that
Yeah.
they weren't really concerned about color on set because it was all going to be black and white. It was
Right.
like-
It's about hues.
Yeah, it was all about the hues, like what would make the grays like different,
Yeah,
like
dark
very.
gray, exactly.
Right. So they discovered if they like painted somebody's face green, it would just look very gaunt and death-like white,
keep away from
bloodless.
So this movie was filmed after what? Dracula and what was the movie right after Dracula? The Rue Morgue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. And look, this was still when Lugosi was a hot property. This is before he'd like burned all his bridges by being
So
difficult to work with.
was it Frankenstein that ended Lugosi's career because he turned down Frankenstein?
No.
Oh no, no. I don't,
Not at all. Not at all. And he ended up playing the Frankenstein monster in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman,
oh, that's
Which-
right.
which is a near masterpiece. You know, it
Lugosi
sort of
played
rushes the,
Frankenstein?
he
Get
played the
outta
Frankenstein
here.
monster. Yeah, he played the Frankenstein monster.
Was
You
he
can-
any
you-
good?
No. I mean, you know, he was acceptable.
I mean, Karloff is Frankenstein. Can we all agree with
Oh,
that?
Oh yeah.
Of course. You know, there's great tenderness and emotion in his performance. Glenn Strange ended up playing the monster for House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Eat Frankenstein. And he was just like a big dude. But you know, Lugosi didn't look really physically imposing in the part. And of course, he was supposed to have the brain of Igor, and for some reason he wasn't speaking. I'm just not even making sense now. Because
he
I'm
looked-
referring to
look
like
at homeboy,
Ghost of
Those
Frankenstein.
pants.
He was a
It's-
horrible
it's
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
pulled up a picture of him. Yeah, he wasn't.
He got by. But the reason why Lugosi turned the part down was because he thought like, well, under all this makeup, nobody's going to be able to recognize me. We're talking about an
So
incredibly
his-
vain man here.
Yeah.
A guy who, according to the people who worked with him on the set of Dracula, would stand in front of a mirror, admiring himself and saying over and over again, "I am Dracula."
See, I don't see what's wrong with that, Brian.
No, it's method
Like,
acting.
Well, I do that every morning. Like I'm, standing, and in the evening, and in.
Bela was very possessive of that character, but he only played him twice. Only played him in the original Dracula and Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein, and his performance is much better, I think, as Dracula in Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein.
Yeah. So
I like
check
that
it. The
show.
driver here has been awarded the Iron Cross. That was pretty cool.
And you noticed his makeup, right?
Mhm.
How that made him, how he looked sort of, with the sunken eyes and everything, very zombie-like.
Yeah, dude, it was all about like makeup and prosthetics and shit like that back in the day. Yeah. There wasn't no digital anything back then.
Nope.
Nope.
It was all on camera.
You see, to me, that's when all this stuff was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like digital is so. I mean, I like digital because you can do so much more. But I mean, let's be honest. It's not. It's like there's no community there. Like you basically sitting behind a computer and doing it yourself.
Yeah,
You don't have a
and
team of people you're working with.
I think CGI is good for non-organic things. I think CGI is really great when you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm all about practical effects. And look at the success of Baby Yoda. Why is Baby Yoda such
Because he's
a?
freaking cute.
I know
Well, no,
he's
because it's a
dangerously
Jim
cute.
Henson puppet. It's a Jim
It's a
Henson
puppet. It's a puppet, and people
really?
connect better with the
Yeah.
puppet than they would, an animated character. I mean, the animated Yoda was terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was bad. So that's good. I'm glad they went ahead and used a puppet for it. I never
They
knew
were-
that actually.
Hey,
What?
you got my zombie in your sugar cane. No, sugar cane is in my zombie.
And that image right there is a perfect definition of what it is to be a zombie pre-George Romero.
Right.
It is basically to work the worst 9-to-5 job ever.
Who would have thought they would tell in the future?
Did you see their faces? That was the face I saw on all my coworkers when I was working a cubicle job.
Yeah.
So people
I'm right
look
there.
like that work at Subway, actually. What else do you want on your sandwich?
Delighted to see you again, Monsieur Beaumont.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wait, you don't want my hand? What's wrong with my hand?
You bastard.
Don't make me do the thing with my hands.
Lugosi
How'd you
looked
know I was
badass
just
in that
jerking
role,
off?
huh? Look at
Yeah,
that.
he did.
Dude, look at that beard.
He looks
He
a lot
looks
like
great, doesn't he?
Yeah, like his
It looks
Black
like my
Cat. He kind of
tattoo.
looks like that.
Yeah. It looks like he looks very satanic.
Yeah.
I love that. That looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, like I said, this is a genuinely good movie.
Well,
I have been on
that
the
was
job.
the challenge back then too, is that they had to work with light and shadows to get their point across. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, when
And,
color came around, a lot of people thought that was going to mean the death of the horror film. They're like, we can't make any more horror movies. And then Hammer did its version of Dracula, and it opens with very bright red blood dripping on Dracula's name. And
Oh yeah,
I
we were
love
wrong.
those Hammer movies, dude. I wish those were in the public domain.
oh, I love them. I love them so much, man.
Jeez.
Comfort food for me.
Oh,
Whenever I'm
God.
sick or depressed, I go to the Hammer movies.
Yeah. Those Hammer movies, I mean, they were so far ahead of their time. Yeah.
They were. And what I loved was how they could be sexy as hell. But once they, because you had these gorgeous women in these very booby dresses,
Yeah.
right? And
Uh-huh.
then suddenly you got to the 70s and they could start showing nudity. And when they started showing nudity, it was like 100 times less sexy.
Well, I always attributed like the women of the Hammer films as being like heroin chic. You know, like that was the first heroin chic look. Yeah.
Oh, no, they didn't look starved.
Well, not like that. I'm talking about with the heavy like makeup, like the heavy eyeliner and stuff like that, and, like mascara.
Oh,
You know,
gotcha.
like yeah, I mean they had that look to them. I'm not talking about starved. No, not that portion of it, because I can't. I can't deal with women who look like that. That's a tragedy.
It is, man. I mean, I've seen chicks at Nyack that have like you can basically see their vertebra.
Oh no. You see, Preston likes his women thick.
Oh, I do too. I do too, man.
I like skinny girls.
That's
Skinny
fine.
skinny girls with lots of boobies and lots of booty.
I like
Well,
big
that- you see,
butts
that's-
that I cannot lie.
That kind of goes against what you just said there. Like lots of booty and lots of boobies.
Lots of boobies.
That's what I'm
lots of
saying.
boobies. No,
That's not a skinny girl.
That's not a skinny girl. That's a thick girl.
No. Trust me. There's a difference. The skinny girl has a nice tight tummy. She has very.
Oh, you talk about the
thin, firm
waist. You want them to
thighs.
have a nice thin waist. Yeah.
Well, and the thighs don't touch when they walk.
I
there's
don't
a
see
little-
anything
Gotcha.
wrong with that, man.
Not bad.
Yeah, I've never had a problem if if one of my girlfriends like gained weight as long as it went to all the right places.
Yeah, me neither. Like Bela Lugosi is a true businessman in this movie. Like he's not like making zombie women. He's just like,
No,
you guys work the floor.
They're cheap labor. That's what zombies were at this point. Cheap labor. And that's also in the Hammer movie, Plague of the Zombies.
Right.
They're like working in a mine.
Yeah.
And
So,
occasionally
they're going down and down, right?
Yeah.
They're working in a coal mine.
Going
Oops.
down and down.
Oh,
That's a
in the
down
coal
and
mine.
down.
Yeah.
Devo is the shiznit.
The
Yeah.
shiznit. So Bela just handed him a little nose candy there on the side. You see that? Trust me, this is some good Colombian stuff, man.
Oh man, he and Clara Bow. Can you imagine, man? How much coke they must have like vacuumed up? Big fat rails.
Wow.
I heard the chick from the Brady Bunch,
Then,
Marsha. I heard
Yeah.
that her nickname was Hoover.
Oh,
because she
Marsha,
sucked down
Marsha.
so much cocaine. Like she
Wow.
was yeah.
That's scary.
Dude, did you see Artie Lang? Do you know who Artie Lang is?
Yeah, his nose caved in.
Yeah, from doing so much
What?
heroin and coke. Like it
Yeah.
fucking ate his nose. Like he has no cartilage or anything in there.
Yeah, it's really terrible. It's really
Oh,
terrible.
Oh.
You know, I've seen firsthand what coke and heroin can do to people. I've lost friends to both of them, and it's just ugly, man. But out of all the drugs, coke is the worst because they're like Energizer bunnies. They just want to keep hoovering that shit up. They're never
Honestly,
never
Oh
placated.
crap! I just looked at it. That's wow.
yeah, dude. That's a horror story right there. My
Let's
experience
say
with coke
no.
was horrible. Like my
Oh.
first experience with coke, I got what's called dope dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever I would do it, I go to the bathroom and I'd be like, "Who stole my penis?"
Well, I was like, I'm never doing this. Is the worst drug in the world, dude. I never got loaded off of coke, though. You know what I'm saying? I never
It's
got
awful.
high off of it or anything. And that's just my first experience with acid too. Like nothing happened. Now the second time I did it, boom.
Oh, yeah. I was never crazy about acid because it's too much of a commitment. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting experience. It's like playing a game with your mind, but it's just like really. It's just like I'm gonna be on like this is gonna last 12 hours.
Exactly.
At least.
Yes. Well, not everybody. Like people I know, like it only lasts like maybe 3 or 4 hours on them. You know?
Well, no. If it's decent acid, you have like a 1 to 2 hour buildup, and then you got a peak, and the peak will last about 3 hours, and then the come down. Well, we'll take it out to 12.
Well, from what I understand, like I did some research on psychedelics, and I can't smoke pot. Okay, I'm allergic to it, but it hits the same receptors that pot does, right? So if you smoke pot, you need more to go ahead and make it like to make the effect last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I had that bad trip, I took too much because they were gauging it off of their experience. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. But did they know that you were a newbie?
Well, I wasn't really a newbie, but I'm like I said, I'm not a pot smoker. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha,
And the last time
gotcha.
I did it was over 20 years ago. So,
Right.
you know,
Well, with both pot and LSD, you can only your body absorbs so much, and the rest of it's just wasted.
really,
Same thing with mushrooms. Yeah, you can only absorb so much, and then the rest of it's wasted. So it's like if you were like, say, if you took like 100 hits of acid, it'd be about the same as taking 4.
yeah, mine.
But
I took a hit,
but
and
the
a
other,
half,
but the rest would be
you know?
wasted.
Yeah,
Hey, did I ever tell you about that time that I like ate a whole roll of Mentos and drank a 2-liter bottle of? Dude, it was crazy.
It'd be like the chest burster, but only your guts. Boom.
I'm just sitting here like going, man,
I just
remember that
couldn't
time I had
stop
4
belching.
Tylenols?
all right. Or it'd be like that chick off of Willy Wonka when she
Yeah,
drank the grape juice.
Veruca Salt, yeah.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
look, he's like he's wrapped it
Carving
together,
the
and now
wax
he's
figure.
I thought he was going to carve in a little hole there. Never mind, I was going completely another way. Bela's a freak.
Wait! Did you mean Veruca Salt, or were you talking about Violet Beauregard? The one
That is the worst vulture ever.
Violet Beauregard. That's who
Right,
I
yeah.
would think.
Right.
Oh, look at that. That's so
I believe
cool.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Though Veruca Salt was kind of eaten by squirrels. So
Right. Well, she was dumped to the furnace.
Was that a banana?
yeah,
Greedy little bitch.
that's right.
He's carving a wax figure. He's going to use as a voodoo dummy.
And I've got
Honestly-
your panties wrapped around. Oh, not your panties. Never
I
mind.
can't believe how good he looks in this role. Like,
no,
he
he's
looks
fantastic.
evil, dude. He looks
He's fantastic.
sadistic.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the angles that they're hitting him,
Yep.
I mean, it's badass, dude.
Wait
Like,
till
this
you
is
see. Wait till you see him do his hand thing, man. That's just crazy.
The
well,
pulling
he
on
looked
the
so
air.
much better in this role than he did in Dracula, which is a shame
Yes.
because he was supposed to be the Prince of Darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Dracula is just an awful movie, and he's not even especially good in it. His
boring.
best, his best role by far is in Son of Frankenstein as Igor. He
I
is.
want to draw attention. Hold on a second.
He's
I want to draw
amazing
attention to
in
this guy's. this guy's tux. Okay,
Yeah.
his bow tie and his shirt is white, which is why I was thinking the suit he was wearing was light blue. Because look at how the camera reacts to an actual true white shirt and
Huh.
tie.
Right.
It almost
right.
disappears.
Yeah.
Is that all?
No. I see.
And hers is white, but hers is like more of a silver white, so it has like a glisten, so it doesn't vanish. Her dress.
She's hot.
Yeah, she's
they had
pretty cute.
they had a certain look back then, with every era. But
Mhm.
I mean, back then especially, like they had this. It's almost like an innocence. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy.
What's wrong?
Yeah, she's very doe-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Come
like
to me.
the Betty Boop iconic look kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The doe-eyed virgin that you
I'm
find
so
in
hot.
so many horror movies.
I'm so hot.
It's like you have two kinds of female characters. You got like two kinds of female characters in these movies. You've got the doe-eyed virgin and the all-destroying bitch goddess. And then you had Barbara Steele, who would often play the all-destroying bitch goddess and the doe-eyed virgin in the same movie.
Really?
Yes, Black Sunday is the first movie where she did that, and it's amazing. Yeah, she could be really beautiful and really just downright sexy, I think, and then she could turn on a dime and be really menacing. She was referred to as the only actor whose eyelids could snarl.
Oh.
They had a porn star that they would say that about our private parts.
Oh! Snap, snap, snap!
Okay, so this is a
And they're
porn.
called Kegel muscles.
So she's dead now. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Right. And so this will come back later. Moment of silence. All right, now let's go check out the rest of the Haitian women.
Yeah, there's a lot of Haitians actually where I'm at, and the Haitian ladies are very well endowed.
Ooh.
Yes, they are.
You might say.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
they
we'll see
are.
one in the shade.
My buddy was dating a Haitian, and
Mhm.
yeah, she was kind of weird looking. She was built. I mean, she was built pretty nice. I mean, but my buddy was never like he wasn't Don Juan. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying?
You know, the art scene actually in Haiti right now is astonishing.
Aren't
There
they
are
like
these-
the poorest country ever? Like
Yes.
they have to use junk
Yes.
to make art.
That's exactly what they do, and it's stunning. A lot. I mean, seriously, these guys could be making a fortune if if their stuff was selling in galleries in Manhattan
Yeah.
or out where I live.
Wait. You know, anybody could be making a fortune if their stuff was selling in galleries in Manhattan.
That's an excellent
Like a
point.
banana taped
Yeah,
to a wall.
taped to a wall.
Well, you guys know the art game is just it's that. It's
It's
just
exactly
yeah, it's a scam. The whole thing's a scam. you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Yeah, what they say, art is worth what you can get for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty
Like,
much.
I'm talking about the gallery stuff, not the stuff that they sell at cons. Like
Oh, you know
my
what
stuff
killed?
is amazing.
You know what? You know what kills me? Did you hear about the Bernie Wrightson illustration that sold for like $1.2 million?
And
Yeah.
it deserved to sell for that much. Bernie was a fucking master, dude.
He
wasn't
was
taping bananas to a wall. You know what I'm saying?
the greatest horror illustrator of all time. I think we
Absolutely.
could, right? I'm pretty much unchallenged,
Oh, yeah.
right?
You see,
what I
but
would
that's
say.
just the thing. I don't have a problem with a Ryson or Frazetta or something like that
Right.
selling for that price.
Yeah,
But
because
I have a
bosses.
huge problem with somebody splashing paint on a canvas and selling it for that amount of money.
Exactly.
That it takes no skill at all to throw paint at a canvas and say, "I'm gonna call that one a bad day."
Yeah, and that's
Right.
your Jack Palance. You know what I mean? There are some paintings that actually are amazing that are like that.
Well, I had somebody try to explain to me that it's not the paint in itself, but it's the not theme. It's the thought behind it. And I was like,
Well, no,
that is
it-
the
it-
biggest cop out I've ever heard before in my life.
Well, here's the thing. You look at somebody like Picasso, right? Picasso, with his cubism, a lot of people are like, oh, well, he was doing that because he couldn't like be a proper painter. But fact of the matter is he was a proper painter. He was trained as a proper painter. He understood that before you break the rules, you got to learn the rules.
Exactly. Yes. And that's my biggest bitch about the art scene. Like, I mean, the fine art scene.
Oh,
It's
God.
because it's an excuse for people who aren't talented that go to school to learn art.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that I have a problem with too. Like, if you have to go to school to learn how to be an artist, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, I could see maybe somebody going to like the Joe Kubert school or something like that.
yeah, but you need talent to be able to go to the Joe Kubert
That's
school.
true.
You need to have at least a spark to go ahead and do that. Like these people who are going into fine art and thinking they're going to make $1 million or something like that, just fucking putting some squares on a piece of canvas.
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they all come
Look,
from
look, there it is. There it is.
backgrounds. Oh, yes.
Yes. You will do what I say. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No,
Please
you're
continue.
right. You're right.
No, it's
yeah,
all
we
good.
should be concentrating on the movie anyway.
Yeah, we should.
I
Well,
linked
I
my
am,
hands
so,
together.
Oh yeah, but we were saying about Bernie, because he didn't get his financial due while he was alive. So it's kind of like when I go to like a liquor store and see Van Gogh vodka.
Yeah.
I'm like, homeboy did not sell a painting in his lifetime, and now like they're selling for tens of millions of dollars, and rightfully so. I mean, they're amazing. It was an incredible painter. They're sort of 3D. It's like they come out at you.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys.
That's why I tell people all the time: get an Asevedo what you can.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
a lot of people don't realize a Van Gogh painting looks different under moonlight.
Those are
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's just when I first saw one in a gallery, it really like blew my mind because he glopped on so much paint. They're 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
They're like reliefs. They're cool.
and they look different under different lighting. So like in a regular house with like straightforward lighting coming straight at it, you know what I mean? It has one approach, and if it's lit from above, it has a different look. And if it's indirect lighting, indirect natural lighting, which is moonlight, it actually almost has a luminесcent effect.
That's awesome. I wonder
That's
what he used to
amazing.
go ahead and get that to work that way. Now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
Well,
if
he
you're
was
stoned,
yeah.
it
because
moves.
they made he made his own paint. All of
He
the
probably
artists back then
he
made
probably
their own
painted
paint.
it. He probably painted it in the dark after he painted it in the light. Like went back and painted it in the dark and had paints to see, so he would actually be like painting by moonlight to get that effect.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's badass.
That's true. Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, you got to put yourself in their shoes back then. I mean, there wasn't. You couldn't just hit a switch and everything lights up.
Yeah, well, I
candlelight
mean,
and stuff like that. They had a lot of shit to deal with. He might have used like insects, like fireflies or something like that, grind up in the paint.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe moth dust.
but like Van Gogh is one of those painters that when people dismiss him as it's just like paint thrown on a canvas. I'm like, hell no. He knew exactly what he was doing.
He was an impressionist. He was exploratory.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It takes talent to do that, but
Yeah, it does.
if you got to sit there and explain to me why your painting is good, then you failed.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. I also just the term itself, fine art, always makes me cringe.
Dude, I've seen so much better art at Comic Cons than you'd ever see in a gallery.
The doctor
And I'm not just talking about mine.
Let's address
know.
the difference.
I'm not.
I think he's gone.
But I've lived in these islands for a good
Did he
while,
disappear?
and I
No, I can still hear him barely.
Wait,
Drew, you
can
dropped
guys hear me
off.
now?
Yes.
Am I here?
There you go.
Yeah, we hear you, Drew.
Better? Oh, I think I might have covered my mic up.
With Cat?
No, I'm on my phone, and I might have like put my hand over it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, as the
But what has that got to do with Madeline?
what the fuck? I got distracted. What the hell were we saying before that?
Oh, we were talking about fine art.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so like fine art versus like something you would get at Comic-Con, which is actual like illustrator type art, like high quality stuff. A lot of fine art is designed to be decorative, not impressive.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about, because now at Comic Cons, like you have painters like me that go there, and I'm more of a Frazetta type of painter, but there's other painters too that do impressionistic painting. There's so many different styles of art. Like it's not just illustration at Comic Cons anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, but I mean like the big galleries. They sell pieces that you hang in your house that supposedly go with your fancy furniture and shit. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like they get big money for the stuff that's more decorative versus makes sense as art.
No,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. It's got to match somebody's couch.
It
sucks, but that's true. That's why people buy that shit. To go ahead and match
it's more like a matching the theme of a room or an attitude of a yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, I get that. It's not. But yeah, I mean, comic shows are much more than just
they really are.
Now.
They really are. I've noticed that too. There were, especially at the East Coast Comic Con, I saw a couple of really, really good artists that were horror themed. Actually, there was one guy that was doing some really impressive stuff, like photorealistic.
Yeah, I started doing that because when I first started doing shows, everybody was doing illustration, and I was just a drop in a pond. So what I started doing was, at first I started doing live paint, where I'd paint live, and
that's
and
awesome.
Just do commissions on site, like on canvas and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what my brother Wes does.
Well, then I stopped doing that because I got really good. I was like, so I started putting too much detail and too much time in it to be able to finish a painting at a show. So
wow.
I would start doing them at the house and then bring them to shows, and like it stood out so much more than everybody. And then everybody else tried to start doing that, but it's not as easy as what you think. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
believe
dude, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So when I look at what you guys do, it's like magic to me.
Yeah, but it's I think all of that helped to go ahead and expand like what a Comic-Con is,
Absolutely, in a good way.
Now it's so much different than it was in the beginning, dude. But I think it's starting to die out a little bit too because it's just oversaturated in the media and and everything.
I don't know, man. I am on when I put my entry for the Comic-Con San Diego. There was 94 people on the waiting list with me.
No. I'm talking about the guests. The attendance. Like the attendance is starting to go down.
Well, it's
Comic-Con.
The tickets for San Diego sell out like weeks in advance.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. It's insane. It's hard to. I mean, like it's not a last minute thing. You have to plan way ahead to even attend. Yeah.
All right.
New York's getting a little more exclusive.
Of course, San Diego is the biggest one. It is Comic-Con International.
When Paris Hilton showed up to the to the San Diego Con, that's when a lot of people, myself included, started thinking, oh, it's not going to even be a little bit about comics now, is it?
No.
It's going to be all about the movies and video games.
Yeah, well, that's what Wizard turned into. Wizard's all about that shit. Like they don't give a shit about illustrators anymore.
That's what I love. Yeah. That's what I love about the East Coast Comic Con and also C2E2. They're very much about like this is a comic convention.
Yeah.
And so there's always like a really strong, healthy artist Sally.
Yeah, and that's another. I mean, we can spend a whole show like going up on Comic Cons. But here's one thing I want to point out too. Did anybody see the trailer for Marvel's What If?
No,
I haven't seen the trailer yet. No,
I was so disappointed because they used that shitty Netflix animation on all of it. Oh god, dude, it was so bad, dude. Like
bad computer
what
animation?
I'm talking about. Did you see the Did you? Yeah, it's computer animation. Did you see it's like hybrid computer versus 2D animation?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's ugly.
Can't
what was it
believe.
called? God damn it! They have a manga on Netflix right now. That's that type of animation. Got Berserk. The new Berserk on Netflix.
Oh,
the animation is horrible on it, dude.
The new Berserk was a slap in the face.
Yes,
to
but
all
that's
of
the
the
animation they're
fans.
using on the new Marvel's What If, dude. It
It's
is
so
fucking terrible.
ugly.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like you have a visceral reaction to it. You look at it, and you go, ugh.
Yeah, well, I was so looking forward to Marvel's What
I was
If because I used to collect What If like crazy, dude. Like,
I
What
used to
If-
love
Yeah, I've got them all.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
your fancy necklace, Margaret. That necklace does nothing for me anymore, like your penis.
When what if Wolverine killed the Hulk? Remember that he like stabs him in the throat, I think, and he's like, I thought that would be a soft spot.
Conan versus Thor.
Yes,
Dude, come on.
yes.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's horrible. And I couldn't believe it because I was so looking forward to it. Now, one thing I have to say is the Morbius trailer.
Oh God,
Dude, it was so good, dude.
but it's Jared Leto, man. I refuse to watch anything that he's in.
But here's the deal. Jared Leto, not a good Joker. Jared Leto as Morbius? Come on,
No,
dude.
I hated Jared Leto as the Joker, but it wasn't because Jared
No
Leto
bueno.
was the Joker. It was the idea the whoever thought that the Joker would be well done and that like approach was ridiculous.
No,
And
no,
no
you're
matter who
They turned him into like a juggalo.
I
It's
like
like
Jared Leto as an actor, but you're right. Like, him as the Joker just wasn't. I mean, Thug Joker just wasn't going to work, dude.
Yeah, no,
Horrible.
that
So bad.
no matter who played it,
Cringeworthy.
No.
yeah, but also, I mean, Leto's really not an actor. He's more of like a model. It's like he should be on a runway.
about that. Like, he was.
Watch Dallas Buyers Club and tell me.
Yeah, he was good in Dallas Buyers Club. Like, he was
Haven't-
really good, dude.
Confess to not having seen it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have said that if you had seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, he was amazing in that movie. dude.
He will change your mind about him as an actor if you watch Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh
Forever.
man, see now you're getting my hopes up for the Morbius movie.
Dude, it was good, dude. Like, the trailer. Was
I haven't seen
fucking
it.
Awesome. It did not
Jared Leto
disappoint.
is a really good actor. He
Yeah.
just has had some weird roles sometimes.
Well, Morbius was always my favorite Spider-Man. I thought he was one of the most unsung Spider-Man villains ever.
One of my favorites. One of my
Maybe
favorites. Him and the Punisher.
Anti-hero villains, whatever. But like when I think the reason why this movie went forward in the first place was because Jared Leto likes the character. Like, he pushed for the movie. You
Really?
know? Yeah. And that whenever an actor gets serious about that shit, like Deadpool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Ryan
here's the
Reynolds
thing.
loves Deadpool.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, he shot that sort of trailer or that short film that was like the audition for the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here's the question: Have they shown any pictures yet of Leto as Morbius? Like,
Yeah, dude.
when he's a vampire?
In the trailer?
Well,
Pretty
not
cool.
full on, like they've hinted to it, but they've shown his face. And
Because
he's got the
Morbius
bat
is
nose.
ugly.
Yeah, no shit. Like,
With the
he's-
bat nose and everything.
Yeah, the
and
bat
I
nose
can't
and
imagine him because, like I said, it's like I kind of see him as like a male model. I can't imagine
Yeah,
because that's the other thing they were doing with the Joker in Suicide Squad was they were trying to make the Joker the DC Universe version of Loki because they
Yeah,
saw
but-
all the Loki fangirls, so we were like, okay, we need to make the Joker sexy.
Yeah, but you see, that wasn't the actor's fault. That was casting.
That's true.
You know, that was
Yeah.
production and casting.
And the design,
like,
yeah, the horrible
that's-
design with the grill and the tattoos.
honestly, that's one of the main reasons I think DC movies like suffers because the comic company doesn't have a direct involvement in the
Yes.
production of the movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why Marvel's doing so well.
I
you
know. Jeff Johns and those other
it's,
dudes. Yeah.
It's sticking to canon, sticking to the mythology. I mean, that's why the Roddenberry properties did so well until this last one.
Yes.
Because
so bad.
they all followed the same arc. They all connected. You know what I mean? And so and now that this new one that came out, I mean, hopefully Picard fucking corrects the fucking flop that whatever Discovery, whatever, not Discovery, what the fuck ever is called.
I only watched the first episode of Discovery.
I haven't watched any of it because they wanted me to buy the fucking app to watch it. I might buy the app to watch Picard. So.
Yeah, like I'm interested to see what happens with Picard.
Me too.
But honestly, they can't put enough makeup on Data to make him look young.
They're not. Data's dead, dude.
Oh, really?
That's right. He died in Nemesis.
Well, no, they had a scene in Picard where Data is painting a painting, right? And Picard walks up to him.
There's another one.
Yeah.
He had a backup of himself.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Vision. He had like a copy of himself. But it's not the same Data.
Yeah,
it's like the soul is different.
Yeah.
But it's not lore. It's not lore. It's another one they found. Right.
Yeah.
But they should have changed it completely.
They called him B4, like the number.
Right, B4, exactly.
Right.
That's who it is, B4. And he doesn't have a developed positronic brain, so he'll never be like a Data.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You see, but that's what I'm saying. Like they should have changed the actor out because I think the actor aged up. Like
well,
he can't. He's
they
not
talk
young enough
about
to play
that it's actually a program that causes him to age so he can feel like he's more human.
Ah.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's bingo.
Yeah.
That is true, though. He always was trying to be human. So I guess.
Right.
Well, you know what's genius
Pinocchio.
about that? That's also like the first ones that came out with gravity plating, which is brilliant. Way to explain gravity on a spaceship.
Yes.
And then that was actually Enterprise, not the TOS, not the one that the new Next Generation. It was actually the one with Scout Bakula that explained that for everybody.
Well, that's just the same thing with the transporters. There's all these people who said, well, how could it work? Because of the way that the atoms move and they're in random patterns. So there's actually something that they've built into the transporter, and they call it the Heisenberg compensator. Right. And so hey, look, we figured out a way to get around that.
This is why it's very cool when people do their homework or they hire somebody that knows this shit that they can ask questions. Like David Goyer was like David Goyer, for instance, I think was working on a Flash script, and he was like, I'm going to talk to some scientists, and ask them, well, if you could run really fast like that quick, what kind of cool shit could you do? Or what would happen if, and so on and so forth. So it's, if you're like me and know jack shit about science, it's helpful to bounce ideas off of folks.
Roddenberry actually had a team of scientific consultants that were on regular payroll that were involved with that basically read over everything that needed to be technically reviewed. So that's why the communicator and the cell phone actually ended up being the same thing, because it was already a technical concept at the time. So,
that's interesting.
Well, no, they like Futurama used to have rocket scientists on a payroll that used to consult on that the TV show.
Well, you get story ideas, I would think.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like I love Futurama, dude. Futurama,
a lot of fun.
Like the news. Supposedly, almost there are some exceptions, but almost everything on Star Trek had a scientific explanation. So
I love that show so much, man.
Yeah,
especially as a kid, the original series.
The original was so good, dude.
I mean, you look at it now and you're like, geez,
it still holds the test of time on them cheesy 1965 fucking sets, dude. It still holds the test of time.
It's so much fun. Even the things that are goofy about it are things that you love.
Even the ridiculous shit like Abraham Lincoln and fucking Attila the Hun fucking battling.
It's charming.
There was some pretty ridiculous episodes when you sit back and look at them.
Oh my god!
But they actually convince you of that shit.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But it's like, how many times did the episode end with Kirk talking a supercomputer into destroying itself? Yeah. At least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
That's
The
awesome.
land of the living dead.
In that moment, very much kind of taken for Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather said, "When the dead rise, they will suck the blood of the living."
What are the three biggest? What are the three biggest series conflicts in the Star Trek series overall over the arch? The three biggest conflicts.
Well, are you talking about all the series that are
Yes,
canon?
and all of them. The three biggest conflicts to canon. Yeah.
Oh, well, I would say the fight against the Dominion in Deep Space Nine, right? And their battle against the Klingons was nothing in comparison.
What about the Borg? Was the Borg considered like a?
Oh yeah,
And when I say conflict, I mean like something that like was a break in canon, not know what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
There's three really big ones.
Well, you're gonna
warp
have to
try the way that they did warp travel in the original series versus the way they did it in Next Gen. That's one big one because they were going like warp 13 in the original series. Yeah, and then they broke it.
That's actually number 3. Warp the possibility of warp speed was like, and now they did eventually decide to like stop how fast they were going because it said it was causing damage to the solar system.
That fucking vulture is annoying.
but in the TOS they were able to go faster than apparently than they were in the Next Generation. That's the third conflict. However, there's two bigger ones.
Okay.
I must go and my boy.
I gave one. Come on, guys, you two get.
My mind is a blank.
Yeah,
give me
when
a
it comes
hint.
to Star Trek, like I'm a huge fan of the original series, but
Me too.
if you try to get me on trivia, you're gonna
Klingon appearance. The number one is Klingon appearance.
Well, but that was
of course
described. I mean that was
it was
a way
it was explained, but that was it had to be explained because it was a conflict in canon.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they eventually explain it? Because I remember there's that
in the Enterprise. They have a whole thing that it was a disease.
Okay. Because
the first explanation was that that Klingons had surgical alteration to blend in with humans. That was the first one, and then the second one was like they said it was a disease. So there was two explanations for that.
Oh wait, you're saying
strange thing in Discovery where they look completely different.
Right. Now,
God.
the third one's a little bit more challenging. So
give me just a hint.
Okay. It has to do with Khan.
Okay.
That's the hint. Khan.
Do you know that was his real chest?
Yes.
Ricardo Montalban?
Yes.
He was, dude. Homeboy was ripped.
Oh, he was huge. He was
evidently he'd been having some back pain, and so he consulted his doctor, and his doctor said, "Oh, dude, just start doing push-ups." So he was just doing like lots of push-ups, and he was just shredded.
Get from push-ups?
From push-ups.
Jesus Christ, dude!
Yeah.
That dude was fucking huge. He had to be shooting.
No. He's. I'm telling you, that's Ricardo, man. He was just that much of a man's man.
Yeah, he's just a badass. He's just genetically.
Like one of those dudes.
No, that's kind of why he was selected. You know what I mean, for that role. Okay.
So and he played that to the hilt.
So there's a line in Wrath of Khan. Okay.
Oh, about Chekhov.
Yes, he talks about. You got it. That's the Chekhov controversy. Chekhov wasn't on the series yet during the Khan episode in TOS. He wasn't even on the show.
No.
Oh, really?
Let me put my nerd hat on. Walter Koenig was not on the show Star Trek when Ricardo Montalban was Khan. But they say that Chekhov was a lower decks member.
That's how they fix the conflict.
Oh, that's nice. Right. That's cool.
And that Khan
that works.
Ripped through all of the databanks of the Enterprise when he was in the med bay, and he saw all of the personnel records. So he
Right.
remembered his
So,
face.
so the line he says in Wrath of Khan is, "I never forget a face," but yet the actor had
That's
not been on
great.
the series
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
did-
the three big conflicts, the big three conflicts in canon for Star Trek.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Seriously, Drew, you taught this Trekkie a thing or two. We learned something today. This is an educational show, damn
Hey
it.
man, the way you are about horror movies, I am about Star Trek and Star Wars, dude. Seriously.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was like very heavily into it when I was a kid. I remember when they had the blueprints that came out around the time of the motion picture.
In the
Oh,
envelope.
Yeah, and that plastic envelope. I've still got that.
Me too.
Yeah,
And the
I've
phasers?
nerded out hard enough to actually go through and like seriously nerded out hard enough in a lot of different ways. But I've actually gone through and tried to map out the blueprints to like where the series is and like to figure out where all the quarters, how they all work, and like what I mean. I nerded out that hard on it, and I just trust me, it's
all right. Well, let me throw down the gauntlet, Drew. What is the name of the first shuttlecraft named for a living scientist?
Oh,
because I was just about to say Galileo, of course.
No.
Right. So the Hawkings?
Nope.
No, because he's dead.
Yeah, no, but at the time he was alive.
At the time.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. It was in season.
Sagan?
No.
Fuck.
No. It's
No,
a
no,
very.
no,
I am just guessing, by the way.
Okay. So the first shuttlecraft is named for a living scientist
Correct.
who's still alive now.
Yes, he's still alive now. He's 82 years old.
Shit, dude.
There aren't that many celebrity scientists.
Now, I did not say he was a celebrity.
No,
Okay.
I'm going through all the shuttle names in my head that I can remember, and I'm not coming up with one.
And I'll give you a hint. It was in season 2,
Okay.
and it was one of the weird-shaped shuttlecraft.
All right, I give. You got me.
Yeah.
It's the Elbaz. It's from the episode Time Squared, where there's 2 Picards, and one of them comes from like 5 hours in the future.
Oh yeah. I
I remember the Time Squared one. That one that was crazy because the first one comes up and he's all, can he fucking talk? And he can't talk gibberish because he hasn't synced with time yet. Yeah.
Exactly. It's named for Farouk Elbaz, who is an Egyptian scientist who runs the University of Boston's Center for research. Now, what is it? Passive something or another. I can't remember.
Particle physics?
No, it has to do. He developed a way to study the geology of the moon by using like passive sound waves.
Really?
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that he was Rick Berman's professor.
Oh, nice.
And when he got the chance to, he did it. And another little geek note.
Yeah.
I was the first person to ever get his autograph on a Star Trek card.
No shit. That's awesome.
I wrote to him years ago, and I sent him like 4 or 5 of these cards that had the Elbaz on it. And he sent most of them back to me with a nice letter. And said,
that's cool.
He's like, I kept one of them. I hope it's okay. I've never seen one of these before.
That's awesome.
So we dug up about 20 of them and sent them back to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Like, if he was going to study the moon rocks, why didn't he just go out to the desert?
Right, because we never went anyway.
Or went to the
Speaking of rocks from outer space, I watched Richard Stanley's Color Out of Space yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
Superb.
Oh, I cannot. It's the first of 3, right?
It's just been announced that he's going to do the Dunwich Horror.
Okay.
And this version of the Color Out of Space definitely has moments that feel like they're out of the Dunwich Horror. And he hasn't announced the 3rd one. They're keeping that under wraps because there's a bunch of other Lovecraft movies that will be coming out.
Oh, Mountains of Madness.
Well, Guillermo del Toro wanted to do that, and then Prometheus came out, and that put the kibosh on
Uh-huh.
At the Mountains of Madness because they have like almost the exact same plot.
Yeah.
But
Can't wait
but
to see that, dude. This
but-
is gonna be fucking amazing.
Guillermo said that he wanted it to be a period piece because that's one thing that we've never gotten. We've like never gotten a Lovecraft movie that is set in the time in which the stories are set.
Right. Exactly.
That's nobody's ever done that. So it would take place like in the 1920s, and period pieces are notoriously more expensive to produce. But yeah,
I really want to see. I mean, I've been teased with a good steampunk movie so many fucking times.
I haven't.
I want to see a really good steampunk movie. I have not seen one.
You and
I
me
don't think it
both.
exists.
Actually. I'm a huge
live
steampunk
action.
fan.
Yes,
like a
live
live
action steampunk for real.
There are things that would fall into that category. I think.
No.
No.
There's nothing that's reached it yet.
See,
There's nothing.
Well, what
I know
about
what
something like
Drew's talking about, though.
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen had a very steampunk.
That has
That was
steampunk
okay,
elements,
but
but
that
it's not a
wasn't-
steampunk movie.
Yeah.
It's got a few steampunk elements, but it's not
I know
a
what he's talking
steampunk
about.
movie.
I know
Right,
exactly
because they're
what
the
you're
same
talking about.
elements that steampunk is taken from.
Yeah.
No, I mean like an actual fucking, airship battles and fucking airship piracy and
Oh, God.
real fucking steam power and fucking, actual fucking mechanical shit like that fucking makes everything run.
You see,
the real
there's-
deal.
They've made a diesel punk movie. They made all these other things, but they haven't. They've made cyberpunk movies, but they haven't really delved into a steampunk movie
Well, has
and committed 100% like they have on
That they
other
have,
themes.
but they haven't done one well. There's a
Which
few
one
on
have they
Netflix.
done? Like
There's even one on Netflix called Steampunk, but none of them have been done well.
what? Really? I've
Yeah.
never seen that one. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never. Was it? You said it sucks though.
You know what? I couldn't sit through it.
I'm gonna check it out. But
interesting.
it's such a cool thing too because I used to build steampunk armor. I used to be part of a steampunk group, and
Really?
it's a blast, dude. Yeah, like I made my shit was kind of sadistic though. Like I made these saw blade gauntlets, where they worked. Like I had little printer motors in them.
Oh, that's badass.
I had to turn the blade upside down that way it wouldn't cut flesh.
So if you were gonna do steampunk, you're gonna do it upright. You're gonna
fuck yeah, dude.
throw
I
a
still
little
got
dash of horror.
I still got suits and goggles and stuff like that. I just don't
That's like
wear
my
them anymore.
Dude, that's my closet. It's full of old goth clothing
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
and punk
think-
and punk stuff.
friends of
Wait,
ours had a
let's be
steampunk
real. Let's be
weapon.
real. Wait, hold on. Let's be real. Okay, Brian, we know how old you are. It's not goth. It's mod.
No, I went from a punk to like a goth, but a punky goth, as opposed to like a goth.
I'm just blowing your shit because the whole mods aren't as cool.
I know,
as goth,
I know. Oh, you know who we did have beef with though? Who we did have beef with were the frickin' vampires when they invaded our scene.
This is starting to turn into a South Park episode.
Oh, dude, yeah, without a doubt. I look back
great
on that
episode,
shit and I
though.
laugh. Yeah, a lot of high
Did a
drama.
hot topic open up next to you guys, or
Oh, we had one that would like we had one in the mall, and I remember seeing like a father walking by it with his daughter, and his daughter said, "I want to go in there, Daddy," and he yanked her away and said, "No, not there, not my daughter. You're not gonna get my kid."
Not white. That jacket's got to be at least gray or a light blue or something.
dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, in the goth scene, we sort of dressed like vampires, but then these guys came in that like thought they were vampires or pretended that they were vampires and would like actually like drink people's blood and wear fangs all the time.
Yeah, I know they had when we when we were growing
what?
up.
Genuinely
Vampires.
disturbed people.
You know what real vampires say about real vampires? It's these motherfuckers that use their power and money to fucking suck the life out of
Truth.
people.
Absolutely.
And fucking,
Yep.
So the people waste their whole fucking life, and by the time they're 35, they realize they fucking wasted it all in a factory working for some rich bastard, and they have
Yep.
nothing left.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
they have married and they have kids, and they're fucking stuck because they got to pay for that wife and them kids.
Yep.
Well, also,
Yep,
those
that's
fuckers,
true.
those are real vampires. Those are real.
I
vampires.
totally agree. I've always felt like in the Blade movies they should have made the vampires more corporate.
yeah, and then before you know it, your life's over with. Then you got to depend on the state to go ahead and take care of your health.
Yeah, and we know how that's gone in this country.
But yeah, because your pension was fucking lost when the company went bankrupt after you fucking retired.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad news. If I'm thinking about moving to Germany.
So Germany.
Yeah, because my mother's in failing health.
Is why I'm fucking trying to create art, man. Because I need shit. I need products. I need shit that I can sell.
Yeah, me too.
And sell again. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I'm hoping that on my next campaign, I might be able to enough to pay off my mom's mortgage.
Did we lose volume?
No, you're still good.
No, you're all right. You're good.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you
Oh
now.
hell!
The show just got heavy.
Just got heavy.
We just watched all the zombies drop off that cliff like lemmings.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the lemming ending. Oh, Drew's gone. Bye, Drew.
He's vanished. Bamf.
So, Brian,
Don't worry,
do
he'll come
you have any extra the 6-gun gorillas
Oh yeah.
from the Kickstarter?
Yep. As a matter of
campaign?
fact, I just ordered the mailers,
Uh-huh.
and let's see.
There it is.
There it is.
What about the spine? Did we get it on the spine?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is the original. This is the proof that they sent me.
Right.
But
right.
I've got a huge box of them that are the same thing, but with the spine fixed. So.
All right. Well, how do we get one of those?
Well, the way you get them is you have to wait. You have to wait until I relaunch the campaign in February because I'm going to be releasing this same trade paperback with a brand spanking new cover by Kanan White.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right.
So, everybody who ordered this, I have exactly 200 backers. These are all signed, are going to be signed and numbered and one of a kind. This one printing.
Okay.
All right. So the second printing is going to be with the Kanan White cover, but people are also going to have the option to buy it with issue number 7, which is called The Big Gun Down.
Ooh.
And so, at least that's going to be my strategy, because I want to sell the 7th issue. But I think if I'm just selling the 7th issue, what really I should do is resell this, and do another printing with a new cover. And if people want to add on, get like the pinned perk is going to be the trade paperback plus the issue number 7, and then then they will have the entire 6-gun Gorilla Long Days of Vengeance saga up to where it's at right now.
All right, we'll be looking for that. I'll be looking for that.
Thanks, man. Looking forward to Preston's work.
I know,
Of
right?
course.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming soon. You guys did.
I didn't know that you were a painter too. Can you
Oh, he's brilliant, man.
I want to see. I want to see some of that shit. Can you email me or Twitter me or whatever, like a link or something?
I'll pull it up right now.
All right.
1 second.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I do paintings. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks, and
Couple of weeks.
we know that you're a busy man, but would you think you would be available in the next 4 or 5 months maybe to do a cover?
Sure, I could do that. Just let me know what you want to do, and I'll
absolutely. First, I got to find somebody to illustrate issue number 8, but I'll worry about that after this next campaign. And then, of course, February is also going to see the launch of Rockabilly Road Trip, baby.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I gotta. We're actually working on a perks right now to go ahead and get that taken care of.
And so you're gonna do that and Doc Salem at the same time?
Yeah. No,
okay.
Doc Salem's pre-campaign is going to launch while Rockabilly Road Trip's going on.
Okay.
So, and then at that time, I'm also going to be working on something for Micah called 3 nights. And so I'm gonna be pretty busy for a while.
I figured.
Sounds like it.
Busy is good. Busy is good.
The one thing I can tell you is that I'm never not where I'm not actually available to go ahead and do commissions and other work like that. So if you want to get a cover done, I can do that as well.
That would be awesome.
And let's see here.
Hey, show him Vampirella.
Yeah, this is my work.
Fucking sweet. Let me guess, you played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons when you were a kid?
I did play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid.
Dude, I've got like literally about like, I don't know, 500 painted figurines.
Jeez.
There you go. Michael Myers.
Uh-huh.
Help me survive junior high school.
I'm with you, brother.
Oh, that's nice, man. I like how you did
There
Luna
she
set.
is. Woo! Oh, mama.
Caliente.
I've been doing it for a little. That's just the kind of work that you find over at cons now.
Yeah, this is my favorite right here.
Dude, now you see
my favorite painted work.
That's like the perfect fantasy girl, you know? Like Frank Cho does them. They're like muscular, but then they have like body fat.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Yeah.
Gojira versus Kong and King Ghidorah. Badass.
Oh,
These
that's
are
a good
everybody thinks these
are wonderful.
Yeah, everybody thinks I work in oils. I used to work in oils, but what happened was I want to do live paint. You can't do live paint. Whoa, Drew's.
Oh, that's so cool. You know what's so cool about that? You can't tell
Drew.
it's a canvas until you get like into the corners.
Yeah. So what I did was,
what's up, Drew? Good to have you back, brother.
I had to come up with my own.
Yeah. My phone rang and it cut me the fuck out. I was like,
So I had to come up with my own mixture. Like I mix oils and everything with acrylics to go ahead and get my acrylics to lay down like oils. And it dries like acrylics, but it paints like oils. Yeah. So
hey, man,
this is excellent work, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, these are my favorites from
Woo!
This is my favorite sex ed material.
That's a great one.
Yeah, baby. Oh God. Although
I did an Oz series where I want to do the monkeys of Oz were my favorite. Yeah, when I was growing up,
scared the shit out of generations and generations of kids.
So I want to do a thing called the Hall of the Monkey King. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
Ken Kelly loved this one too. He thought the globe in the middle with the Dorothy and Ken Kelly's the Kiss artist. He does stuff for Kiss and he used to do stuff for Hasbro and stuff like that.
Dude.
He's also Frank Frazetta's nephew. And
no shit.
Yeah, he thought that centerpiece right there should have been a painting by itself. Yeah.
That's a high compliment.
Yeah. And then
yes.
I mean, come on, dude.
Great one.
This was one of my favorites.
Even though you're mixed, I know what I love about this. You're mixing Universal,
a little bit of Hammer with a little bit of
Yeah. Fantastic. Can we see that one closer up?
You know that Brian's got to clean his pants now, right?
Yeah, dude, I have a huge erection.
He's not wearing pants. What are you talking about?
The desk will be going up. Oh Christ.
Yeah, this was.
Dude.
I didn't know if this would sell at a show.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know if there.
What is wrong with you, brother? How could anybody in the right mind walk past that and not want to buy it?
Well, I know I'm a huge Classic Monsters fan, but I'm not sure how many other people are Classic Monsters.
I know. I know exactly. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm saying I showed it at. That's the one it sold at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this one right here, like when this first came out, I was so excited about the new It movie. Yeah. Everybody was doing all the painters I know, they were taking the easy way out. What they would do is they would just take whatever the promo material was and paint that on canvas. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something completely original. So I did this one where it's kind of a homage to the old Pennywise.
Right.
Because inside that movie,
doll.
Well, inside that movie, when they go into the first movie, when they go into that room with all the dolls, they have that doll in there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did not know that. I haven't seen the new It.
Yeah. And then of course Jason. Yeah. Jason. And this was my Cthulhu versus King Kong. This was a commission that somebody wanted me to do.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
The chick on the beach watching this?
Well, here's the deal.
At
first I had a bunch of like natives running up the stairs and worshiping Kong. It's like God versus God, right? And he was like, I don't want 8 dudes in my painting. It's like, can you make it a big kitty?
That's so fucking great. But
One
yeah,
of my favorite video games.
my
Dead
money is
Space.
on Kong.
Aliens, of course. I love doing aliens.
Nice.
It's like whenever you need extra money, just throw an alien out there. Somebody will buy. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. Another Godzilla. Yeah.
Ooh. I wonder if I could get you to do a canvas cover.
Yeah, I can. I mean, it depends on if I can sell it too. Like that all depends on the price. Like if I can't sell the original, then you'd have to make up the price for the original. Yeah.
If my campaign,
that was a commission. The guy wanted his wife as
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's a sweet gesture.
You know what the funny part about that was that the reference photos he sent me, because I was like, dude, I don't know your wife. You got to send me all the photos that you got so I can, so he sends me all these photos and I did the paint and everything up. And he goes, that looks fantastic, but that's not my wife. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, that's not her. So I did a comparison. I did the photo next to the paint and I sent it to him. I was like, this is what you sent me. And this is what I did. And he goes, yeah, but that's her from 20 years ago.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to know that? Oh my
Here's
God.
the picture you sent me.
So you see an artist's plight when he
I do, brother. I do. I feel your pain. Especially as freelancers. How many times have you been like screwed over or had to like hassle people for money?
Honestly, once I got older and I realized the game, like if you work cheap, you're going to get treated cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after and plus don't be stupid. Like if it's your first time dealing with anybody, especially friends, get a deposit.
Yeah.
I'm saying because you don't want to ruin that friendship and you don't want to lose the money too, because you got to realize like if I'm spending a week on a painting, I need to get paid for that week.
No, absolutely. Anybody that I've worked with gets paid up front.
Yeah, well, no, you don't.
Which I know is a mistake. I know. I know.
That's absolutely
I'm too fucking nice.
Talking about.
Yes, I know.
Never pay anybody up front.
I know.
I don't care who it is. And
I know. I've learned. Dude, trust me. I've learned my lesson.
A deposit's okay. And
how much?
I have a track record. All right.
Okay.
Because I have a track record, I feel entitled to get 50%. Now for other people who don't have a track record, then no, dude, they get 25 at the least. And you know what? When you're doing page by page basis, it's okay to give them half the amount up front for that page, not for the complete job.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's why it's helpful for freelance writers like myself to talk to freelance artists like yourself and find out what the proper etiquette is.
Yeah, I mean,
because you don't want to, you don't want to be a dick. You want to have a good relationship with the people that you're working with. You want them to be happy.
Absolutely, but you want to not get screwed over too.
I know. Well, that's that was my problem. That's why I'm gonna have to find a new illustrator for Six Gun Gorilla.
See that shit right there. God, I wish you paid him. Like, did you pay him through PayPal or was it? Because if you paid him through PayPal, you have a chance to get your money back.
No, well, here's the thing. My friend Wes put up the money
through
for
PayPal?
me.
That's a major thing.
I think he sent him a check.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's ghosted us.
PayPal is really the best way to pay.
But
you know what I mean?
If you send it friends and family through PayPal, you don't have a leg to stand on. You screwed up. If you send it as in a business thing where they paid a percentage and all that kind of stuff, then you
can send it business, and still, even if you want to take the percentage on, you can figure out ahead of time. Like with my illustrator, you know what I mean? When what I was paying him, he and I pay him when he finishes a page. It's like when he uploads them, he gets paid for them. And I mean, I try to do it the same day. So it's like there's no wait, no issue. But I was paying him a per page rate, and then he's coming to me and say, hey, you know what? Every time that I'm getting hit by an interest, a percentage on this, and every time, and it's like we figured out what the percentage was, and then I actually added $1 to it and some change, And so
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But
No,
what
not at
what
all. I
happened with
agree.
Yeah, that's
him,
fine.
if you go ahead and you if you do it where it's I tell people to send it friends and family all the time, and but then again I have a track record with delivering work. But if you're not sure about this guy, then you send it the regular way, because I mean this guy was fine the first book you did with him, and now you go ahead and you send him money and he doesn't return your calls. That's bullshit, dude.
that's total bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not a little bit of money. I'm not going to disclose how much money it was. I'm not going to do Brian like that, but
That's fine.
it was a good bit. And any artist who would actually do that, or any type of business, whatever, if you're coloring, if you're doing anything, and you accept money and you don't deliver and work, then you're a scumbag. Straight the fuck up, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certain
And
layer of bill.
And you're getting a bad name, because I'm telling you right now, if I knew this guy's name, I'd be shouting it from the rooftops and making sure nobody deals with him. Yeah. I mean,
well, it's where it does get around. It's just I'm just disappointed also in the individual, because we met at New York City for the New York Comic Con a couple of years ago. We were there, the three of us, signing books. We sold 300, I think, over 300 that weekend, and sold out, I think, on like day 2.
Yeah.
Like I literally ran out of books because people were snapping them up, because it was the three of us together, cover artist, interior artist, and writer.
I would love to run out of books.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was when that happens, I just feel grateful. It helped that I think we had the only comic that year in Independence Alley that wasn't about zombies.
Yeah, that helped a lot, actually. Yeah, but no,
So people
absolutely.
looked at our book and were like, "Oh, that's something different."
Yeah, hey, something that's not zombies.
Yeah,
I still got like over like 10 boxes of books to fucking move still. So
you will.
I'm set. But yeah, I mean that's the whole purpose, big picture. You know what I mean? To make a business model out of it is to get more than I need. So,
Well, you've already been on Ethan's channel at least once, right? Just briefly.
I'm not worried about Ethan. He can do his own thing. It's cool, man. I'm not,
Okay.
if I'm worried about Ethan, then I'm putting too much pressure on him. I gotta.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. Well, both he and Cecil said they would have me on. They haven't had me on yet, but that's okay. They don't owe me shit. And of course, I hope that they have me on so I can pimp my book in February. But I mean, there's dudes. Were you watching yesterday when Cecil launched his book? Did you see that thing hit 50 fucking K in like 15 hours?
Whoa, really? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
I was laughing my ass off.
What's this book about?
So funny, man.
It was 40K in the first 4 hours.
I seriously, I was dying, because first of all, the trailer on the page is really funny, but just the fact that it was going that fucking fast. And I had told him many a time, like, dude, I was part of a chorus of people that were telling him, dude, you should do a comic. It's gonna blow up. And then once you started seeing some of the art, you started thinking, oh, this actually might be good, because it looks funny. And sure enough, on the page, it looks funny as shit. And the Dirtworm Doug thing is just vicious, man. And it's funny because Cecil's just such a nice guy. He's like a genuinely sweet human being. But I guess he reached into his dark side for that one.
That's awesome. Oh, let me find it. I want to take a look at this. I haven't seen it yet. It's called Cash Grab? Is that what it's
Cash
It's called Cash Grab.
I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah.
Peace out, Jimmy. Good talking to you, brother.
You too. What are we doing
care,
next?
I'm gonna post it. I haven't decided yet, but it's gonna be badass.
Well, of course, I would expect nothing less.
If you got any suggestions, throw it
Werewolf
out.
versus the vampire woman,
Oh.
or Horror
That
Express.
actually sounds pretty badass.
How about Billy the Kid versus
Dracula?
Yeah.
That sounds badass. If
It's not.
public
It's
domain,
not.
it'd be awesome.
It's not.
No, it's not.
That's like Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter.
What about
Yes.
what about a silent? What about one of those silent movies? Because we're gonna talk over it anyway.
Anyway, it won't really matter.
Caligari, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool, but I don't know if it's long enough. I think it's not that long. Like,
God,
I
if
think
I
it's
had
about
a
80
nickel for
minutes.
every time somebody said that to. Oh wait, never mind.
Jesus Christ, Cecil has some badass.
Right, dude.
No, I'm
it
talking
looks
about
genuinely
the
funny.
guest artist that he has on here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like this is some serious shit. Like he did a
High
quality.
quality.
Book. Yeah.
I kept saying that this book was going to be better than it has any right to be, and I think I was right.
This is awesome.
His ass crack.
It's got
This is
five.
Kelsey Shannon's cover.
It's got the first 5 pages on there, and
Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny as shit.
You get to be part of the human centipede.
yeah, they've already got that one sold out.
No way, dude. That is awesome, dude.
I heard some people were going to like put their money together to like have it be like Doug. Doug's
They
Maple.
were saying that, but War Campaign bought it. Row from War Campaign straight bought it.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. He'll do the right
They're gonna
thing.
put Gina or somebody on it like that.
He'll do the right thing. Look at this
Dude.
art, man.
Yeah. No, this is tight. This
Right?
isn't bad at all.
This does not deserve to look this
I mean, it
good.
looks like it's Cecil with Don DeLay and fucking what's his name? Ink Spot. You know?
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
the coloring.
Yeah.
And Eric and Eric doing the letters, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a fucking team of ringers. You know.
It's an indication of all the goodwill that's out there towards Cecil that this ended up looking like it does.
Yeah, this is badass, dude. I'm digging it. And
Right?
And just so that you know, he's up to $62,000.
Yeah, you know what? I think
it's like a practical joke.
This is one hell of an expensive ass
I wonder if Malin's steaming a little bit because his book's doing better than the Huerta
Dude.
cover, and Huerta did the colors on the cover of this book too.
Dude, do you think? Oh my God! Did you see like God, who did a video? Edwin did a video like almost immediately. And yeah, I mean the bad blood that's there is very intense on like that side.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean I hate infighting.
Wait,
you know.
what does it say right there with Malin's face? What's going on? What's it say there?
Oh, that's his cover. No, that's Kelsey Shannon's cover. What's
What's it say there with Malin?
They have elected to place John Malin at the head of the Centipede.
Oh, she must have just added that.
Congrats to the head of the Centipede winner.
Oh, that's
War
campaign.
Okay, War Campaign bought it and wants to put John Malin's head at the
It'd be worse being like the ass end of the human centipede, wouldn't it?
I don't know, dude. I've never even seen that movie, to be quite honest.
No, neither have I.
I'm not brave enough to be. I like this. This is badass.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's basically
damn, dude, $3,000 to go ahead and have him put it at the head of the Centipede.
Yeah.
and that shit sold in the first day, son.
Holy shit, son.
Rowe bought that shit for War Campaign.
That's awesome. He'll do the right thing.
God damn, son.
This is, I mean, it's what? It's a practical joke that's made $62,000 in like 2 days.
Motherfucker. And I'm sweating fucking $10,000, dude. Jesus, I'm sweating $3,000. You know what I'm saying? God
Don't worry, dude. In February, shit is gonna go smooth as butter. I guarantee you, man.
So.
February is your time. and same for you, Drew. Same for you. That's when you're gonna start moving some
on
books.
here. It's like everything
Yeah,
here
I
is
tweeted out the
fucking
new covers.
expensive.
You guys,
Like, there's
see
nothing
that?
cheap here.
No.
I know.
Fuck yeah, dude, go for it. This is awesome. All right,
It's,
yeah,
it's
this
too
is
fucking
Cecil's
funny.
book. Let's play the.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait,
supposed to
I
be
don't think anybody's
Comic
real.
hut. That's supposed to be the comic book hut right there.
No, it's got to go through Chrome. I don't think there's any.
The
yeah,
hut.
Let me see here.
That
I gotta put
dude's
it in
voice
Chrome.
is creepy, man. You can just smell like the semen drying on his keyboard.
All right, here we go. Yeah, for some reason, sound doesn't come out of you can't do it through Firefox because the sound won't work.
You do need the music.
Yeah. God damn.
Okay, who's munching what?
That's me.
Okay, no worries. We don't judge here.
Hey, man,
Some dried mango.
It's movie night, so I got the popcorn out.
Rock and roll.
Let's bump this up a little bit. You think that's how
Your
Cecil
boy
really
Zach?
walks? It's got a gold flask. Oh, this is great.
Right? This 62 grand in 2 days.
That's basically, dude. He's straight. He's honest. Cash grab, son.
Oh my god.
That is so awesome.
It's so awesome. Oh god.
He's not hiding anything. He's like fucking cash grab.
It's funny. It's funny as shit. But that's the other thing too, is a lot of people were like offering to do free art for this, right? Because they know it's going to be a hit, and also just as a goodwill gesture, just because they dig Cecil.
Yeah,
because he gets awesome fan art. And you know, they were willing to work for free. They were offering to work for free, and he was like, "No, fuck that. You know, anybody that's doing anything for this book is getting paid."
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Huh.
You know, Cecil is a good dude. He's a very, very honorable.
Yeah, come on. He did pick fucking ringers across the. I mean, that helps. You
without a doubt, without a doubt.
Cecil's a very, very popular YouTube person in the Comicsgate, but just indie comic, you know, and fandom menace community, you know. He's got, you know, he does the Jack show with the Star Wars girl and Kelsey, and you know what I mean. So it's like he's not like some nobody, of course, and he's been doing it for a while. So he's got that following. Plus, he's a regular on EBS's show, right?
Yep.
You know, and
he's always a pisser.
Right, and he gets around to like everybody else's channels because he's a fucking cool dude. So that is him. Now you take that and the fact he's funny, right? So you know that he's going to be able to write some funny shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So on top of that, you mix that with an artist like Don DeLay, right?
Yep.
And a colorist like Ink Spots and Andrew Huerta doing the cover. You know what I mean? Coloring for the book. I mean, you know, and then to fucking put the icing on top, you get the fucking most popular, the best letterist in fucking Comicsgate, Eric. You know, to fucking go into the lettering. You know what I mean? You basically have lined up a home run. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is swing.
Honestly, I think you're right, but I think the main thing about this is because Cecil is such a personality on YouTube. That's the main thing that's driving this book.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
he's the mascot of CG.
Yeah, I mean, like your book, Brian, looks fucking amazing, but
thanks, bro.
You never made $62,000.
No, but you know, I'm the kind of person that when things suck for me,
and that's the same thing to you too, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing anything wrong with the
don't
letters.
understand. I had to swallow some fucking jealousy, and I don't get jealous easy when I saw those fuckers numbers hit. I mean, it's
I don't pay attention to the numbers.
I didn't feel jealous. I just died laughing.
No,
It's funny. It's definitely funny.
I'm not
Yeah,
jealous.
yeah,
I'm
but-
not jealous. I'm not jealous of Cecil. I'm jealous of Cecil's numbers.
No, once
Once you understand
understood what
it,
you
though,
said, yeah.
it doesn't. It's not that.
No.
You
No,
can't
I'm
really get jealous about it. Though. You see what I mean? I'm saying once you understand that it's not.
Yeah, he's jealous of
it's
those
a great
numbers.
looking
Yeah,
book.
I can understand.
You know?
Dude, I totally understand. You know what I mean? And I'm not like bitter jealous. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, I just fucking like, damn, dude. You know what I mean? It's like I'm sitting here struggling. I'm struggling to get to 5K after a fucking in demand, and I fucking have a fucking bunch of books that I already put the money out for front on. You know what I mean? I'm like looking to break even still. You know, and homeboy's fucking busting out with his first book. You know what I mean?
I know it's such a slap in the face to like us to the rest of the indie creators.
It's
Like
you
Three
saying that
Stooges style slap, you know?
yeah.
Are you saying
It's a kick
Cecil
to the
basically
nuts.
took his dick out and just like slapped you in the mouth with it a few times? Here you go, monkey boy.
Yeah. So
Right,
I
and
wasn't the
it's-
most happy camper, but
And it's
I'm happy for Cecil. I'm happy for Cecil. I'm
without
not
a doubt, without a doubt.
Come here,
after the
Captain
whole
Love.
comment,
bitter,
Take some
but
of
I'm
this
happy
love
for
right
Cecil.
here, buddy.
Look, I'm telling you, this is going to be like a really good spring. I believe positive vibes are coming our way, and
Blue sky.
Cecil said he would have me on, and he knows me or knows of me.
You're just gonna will that into existence, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I've talked to him and Ethan on Ethan's channel like 2 or 3 times now, but that's just been for like 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
So they know who I am. So
Their formula is correct, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Hmm?
go by their formula and you try to build up your YouTube, you
Yep,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm doing.
Like, if you can do that, then you are kind of setting yourself up for success. Like the Literature Devil, great
Yeah.
idea for a book, dude. Like Doc
Yeah.
Alpha.
Yep.
But he's got a following that's insane. Like he's got 75,000 followers. At least the last time I checked, he did. And his book went up to $30,000. You know what I'm
So he
saying?
had to build an audience.
Yeah.
No,
and when I was on his show, I mean,
I like
went
his
up
videos, too.
$600 within a minute, within an hour.
Yeah.
You know?
having a fan base helps on many levels, obviously, especially if they're an engaged fan base.
Mhm.
Mainly is like they become your base support, but on top of that, if you have big numbers, other channels will invite you on because they want to mix audience. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So then you can leverage your audience to get more audience off of other channels.
Well,
So-
that's
So those of us under 1,000K, you know what I mean, just aren't, it's like if I yeah.
Oh, no, you have to
Like,
have at least 4,000 or 5,000 K before you can even play the game. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
well,
saying?
I have. Let's be clear. I have a channel that has over 10K, and I have another channel that's partnered that has over 7K.
Yeah.
Neither of those channels deal with comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's the. I have YouTube channels that have fucking subscriber bases. It's I have a partnered YouTube channel. I mean, it's just not practical to try and engage those into Comicsgate. You know what I mean?
No, I
definitely
hear you.
not.
But like, here's the deal. I'm not good at interviewing. You know, I mean, yeah, we can sit around and talk bullshit and stuff like that, but doing a movie night or doing a conspiracy channel. That's better for me, to go ahead and get, because everybody's doing interview channels right now. And to be honest, I wouldn't even be able to compete with that, because so many other of those guys are better and they have a bigger audience.
well.
But-
Here's the thing. Go ahead.
No, I mean, doing it this way, I'm able to go ahead and build a little bit of an audience and then go ahead and advertise my book, Rockabilly Road Trip. And that Rockabilly Road Trip is also about to start its campaign. So here, check out.
Run that sweet trailer if you can, man.
Sign up
to
and
Rockabilly Road Trip.
get those special
Rockabilly
perks while they're
Road Trip
still
is the story of
available.
Nicky the Pipe,
Nikki has one special talent. He can build anything. After completing work on his hellish hot rod, which he lovingly calls his devil driver, Nikki finds that his life is still missing something. So he focuses his amazing talents on building Patches, a bombshell of a driving companion, to complement the look of his demonic hot rod. Oh, but Rockabilly Road Trip isn't anything but typical. Our heroes encounter chainsaw-wielding psychos in Texas, aliens from outer space at
Nice.
Area 1, and a voodoo zombie infestation at a roadside stop in Louisiana are just the start of the problems our heroes run into on the road trip of a lifetime. In issue 1 of their brand new full-color series, Nikki and Patches battle a mysterious illness that is driving the women in a small Mississippi town psychotic.
I love that plot.
So come along for the cross-country love story adventure that is Rockabilly Road Trip. That plot got us in trouble.
I know. I could see why it would.
We had that shit locked up, dude. We had it locked up until they read the book, and they were like, "Oh no, we can't publish this."
Social justice, baby. Yeah. Well, that's
But,
you know.
I mean, it is what it is. You know,
yeah.
whatever.
I
We're living in that era.
I want to do so many social justice parody books, but I'm afraid it would just be a waste of time, energy, and money.
Well,
you know what I mean?
now it would, because that shit's. I think it's about the rights course. To be quite
I agree. I agree. It's like remember the South Park episode about social justice, or at least the first one that they did, and there are these two farmers that are like, well, you know, looks like political correctness is back. Well, how long do you think that shit's gonna last? I don't know. Let's see. Last time it lasted about 9 years. Like, okay. Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. I think things are cyclical, and we're approaching the stretch where people start to get really freaking annoyed.
Yeah. Well, I am.
Oh, I've been.
I can tell you this.
Years.
I can tell you this right now. Like, if you want a reality check, just check out South Park. They'll do it, dude.
Yeah,
that's why I love South Park so much. Yeah.
Yeah, they're because they work without fear.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's because they're so happening, they don't have to be afraid.
Yeah.
And to me, the most pernicious thing about SJW censorship is not just removing things from people's works of art as if that weren't bad enough, but you're getting the artists to police themselves.
Yes.
You're getting the artists to police their imagination.
Well, here's the deal. Art should never be should be like guided by society. Society art guides society. It does not be guided by society.
Yes.
I'll take that one step further. It's worse than that. The real artists are not getting the jobs because they people don't want to work with them.
Oh, the industry's fucked because of that, dude. It's completely fucked because
Nobody
of that.
wants to work.
Who would want to put up with that shit?
Yeah.
Well, no, they're hiring people that have never done comics. They did anyway. Like, there's professionals now that have never done comics, and it's just that's why the comic
it used to be.
sucked.
I know.
Like, but you being who you knew was bad enough. Now it's who agrees with you as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And who you know.
Like, so it's like,
and they wield that shit like a hammer, man. They wield that shit like a hammer. Zach is right. If SJWs had superpowers, they would use them to hurt you.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I totally believe
that would
They're
make them
vicious
motherfuckers,
man.
That would make them
vicious.
super villains. That would make them super villains. Thus, a great subject matter for a parody book.
Huh. I think we're gonna do another show this week. And if you guys are interested, I'd like to expand upon all of this, what we're talking about right now.
Hell yeah.
And like just go in depth with all of it and just throw it on the line, you know, because
I'd love to. Like Malin was saying, there should be like a CG show every night.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna do a CG show this week, and just let me know when you guys have some time, and we'll go ahead and do it. I gotta go.
All right, brother. This was fun. Good talking to you, and
next movie night.
Keep the faith.
Figure something up, and yeah.
All right, man.
Good seeing you, Drew, brother.